Today we'll be looking at some aspect of statistics. Precisely, we'll be looking at how to obtain the mean and standard deviation in statistics. Now, we have been given some data which involves the ages of 22 students, and we are asked to obtain the mean age and the standard deviation. First of all, we are going to start by highlighting the formula for obtaining the mean and standard deviation. So, mean is x bar, that is the denotation, and it's always equals to summation of fx over summation f. While your standard deviation is always given as the square root of summation fx squared over summation f minus bracket open summation fx over summation f all the square. Meanwhile, there are other formulas you can use to obtain mean and standard deviation. It depends on the nature of the question. So let's start by looking at this. Now, before we do anything, it is best we represent this data in a table because, in statistics, it's best we use table to analyze data. So now, we already have our age and our frequency, which we are going to write here. Your age, which ranges from, I think, 12 to 14. We have 15 to 17. We have 18 to 20. We have 21 to 23. 24 to 26. And then we'll have our frequency here, which has been given to us to be 6, 10, 3, 2, 1. The first thing you do is to add the frequencies together. You add everything together, which gives you 22 when you do that properly. And then the next column is your X column. The S column, which we normally call the class mark. And to obtain that is just the addition of the lower class limit and the upper class limit, and then you divide the result by 2. 12 plus 14 is 26, divided by 2 will give you 13. This plus this divided by 2 will give us 16. And this plus this divided by 2 will give us 19. This plus this divided by 2 will give us 22. And then when you add this to this and divide by 2, you have 25. Okay, so that is how to obtain the x value. And then because of this fx in our formula, we are going to have a column for fx. And fx simply means the product of f and x. You multiply them together. That is 6 times 13. And when you do that, you are going to have 78. And then 10 times 16, you are going to have 160. And then 13 times 19, it's going to give us 57. And then when you multiply 2 by this, you have 44. And then 1 times 25, of course. That gives you 25. So we also need to get the total of this. That is by adding the column for fx. And when you add this together, you are going to have 364 for that particular column. And then, because of the nature of our standard deviation formula, we need a column for x squared and a column for fx squared. So we're going to create that quickly. We have x squared here, and then we have another column fx squared here. Now, x squared simply means you square your x values. So if you square 13, you're going to have 169. That is 13 times 13. And then if you square 16, you're going to have 361. And then if you square 19, sorry, if you square 16, you have 256. Sorry. And if you square 19, you have 361. When you square 22, I think you have 484. And then when you square 25, you have 625. Okay, that becomes your x squared column. And then to get this fx squared, you are going to be using your f, which is 6 here, to multiply the x squared. Okay, that is 6 times 169. And then when you do that, that gives you 1014. Okay. And then when you multiply 10 by 256, you have 2560. And then, of course, when you use 3 to multiply 361, you are going to have 1083. And then when you use 2 to multiply 484, you are going to have 968. And of course, 1 times 625, you have 625. So we need to as well total this particular column fx squared. And when you do the total, you have 6250. Wow. So we have been able to present this data in a tabular form. So it becomes very easy for us to obtain our mean and our standard deviation. How do we do that? I already give you a formula for mean, which is x bar to be equals to summation fx over summation f, which implies that this is equals to, this is fx, and if you add it, it gives you 364. Then you divide it by summation f, which is 22. Okay? So from here, when you divide these two now, I think you should have something of 16.5455, which in turn gives us 16.55. Okay, yes, to 2 dB. So that becomes our mean age. And then secondly, we have our standard deviation, STD, to be equals to, maybe the formula, square root of fx squared over summation f minus open bracket summation fx over summation f all in squared. So this gives us the square root of cos. Summation fx squared, look at your fx squared here, the summation is 6250 divided by summation f, which is 22. Okay, minus open bracket summation fx is 364. You can see it from the table here, and then all over summation f, which is 22. Then you square everything here. Then when you evaluate, that, that gives you the square root of cos. This divided by this, you're going to have it to be 284.09 minus, and then when you divide this and square, you're going to have 273.75. Okay, and then you just have to have this to the square root of, when you do the subtraction, you have 10.34. Please, you can point your calculator to confirm them, and then this gives us 3.2156, which is approximately 3.22 to 2 decimal places. So this becomes the standard deviation, and of course, this becomes our mean age. Thank you for watching my video, and please do well to always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos.